When we are using pandas, there might be many situations where we need to index and select the data. So in NumPy, we would be using the index to specify which value we want to get. But when it comes to pandas, we have both position as well as label, which is given. So we can select in both these ways using both these terminologies. So let's look into how we will be able doing it. So we have two things, lock and iLock. Lock is a location based, label based selection, and iLock is a index based selection. So in a lock, you will be using the name of the name of the column or no, name of the row to access that particular element. In iLock, you will be using a integer based thing. So this will be similar to what we used to do in NumPy. All the slicing and other things can be done similar to what we used to do in NumPy. Lock is a bit different as it uses the labels that is created for each and every row and column. So let's see a small comparison between both of them. So you have to call both of them to the data frame. So in the first thing would be passing is the row selection and second one is the column selection. First we look into iLock. iLock is similar to NumPy, the indexing that we do. So we can pass the rows that we want to select. Similarly, we can pass the columns that we want to select. It can be a single value or it can be a list of values. We know that fancy indexing. We can also slice it from a particular range. We can do similarly for columns also. It can be also single value as we said before itself. So now we get into lock. In lock, we have to use the label as a for indexing. So in the row format, you have to give the row name. In the column, you have to give the column name. You can also give a list of row names and list of column names, and the subset of data would be selected. You can also use the range command to specify a slice of the data, slice of the column. Similarly, you can do for rows also. And you can also give condition to select the rows which accepts that particular condition. Okay, these are things that I wanted to show regarding lock and iLock. Let's get into coding. So yeah, we just hear the outputs. So we'll start running. So as usual, we are importing the dataset. I am creating a small temporary data frame that it will be going to use the entire notebook. So the data frame is created. We have country, population, area, and capital. So what we are going to do is the index is generally 0 to 4, which is auto generated. What we'll do is we use the country as the label over here. So the index becomes country. So we can do it using set index command. So we have already seen this in the previous section. So what we did was we created our own index and use it. We can also select the index and pass one of the column names to it so that the new data frame would look something like this. You can redo it by executing the command. We have the command called as reset index. So when I'm resetting the index, you can see it comes back to normal. But the thing is, it's not in place. So I'm just doing it. I have to store it if I want to have the change. So I don't want the change, so I'm continuing with the this data frame. So as we said, we can be selecting using the labels or the position. Okay. So before that, we'll just look into the normal convenience that we generally use. That's the square brackets. So square brackets is generally used to access the column. So I can use the value of the column name to access that particular column alone. This is typically a series. As you can see, we have the name to the series. We also have the data type. So one particular column is generally a series that we know. I can also select multiple columns. Yeah, this is the multiple columns. And it's a data frame, so we also get the index over here. So when we are, the thing is when we are slicing using the square brackets, we actually can slice only through the rows. So I can slice from France to Netherlands. The thing is, generally when we are slicing using numbers, we generally eliminate we don't include the last endpoint. But when we are slicing like this, we also include the end element. remember this, end label is included. So these are things. So we can pass a single column name, can pass multiple column name. Okay, and we can also give a slice of row names. All these things can be done. So we will look into the more systematic way of indexing, which is using lock and ilock. One is label based, and the one is integer based. So both of them get a row index first, then column index. So here you can see that I am trying to get the row which is Germany and the column which is area. So it gives the individual value which is the area that the Germany has. So we get a X number. Similarly, we can also get other values like slicing the. I'll just print the data frame so that we can have a better idea. Sorry, countries it is. So this is the data frame. So what we are doing is we are selecting France to Germany. So we are using this index sizing. After that, we are choosing population and area alone. So we'll be getting France to France and Germany, population area. This part of these four values. We got those value. Similarly, I can do slicing for also the column value. So from array to capital. So this time I will not be getting population. The other two values I'm getting. So I hope this is clear for you. So iloc works similar to NumPy array indexing. So we work extensively in NumPy arrays. So this should be quite similar. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting the 0th, first and second row, first second column. 0 first row, first second column. So the last element will not be included. Okay. In iloc. In location, we will be including it. Remember this. The different indexing methods can be used to assign data. So we are trying to assign data using different indexing methods. So we are assigning all the countries from Belgium to Germany to population of 10. So we are just doing it temporarily. So I'm creating a new data. So dot copy creates a copy of the data. So the original data is not affected. So we are assigning from Germany, Belgium to Germany as a population has to be 10. We can also do something like, so we can assign all the capitals to be Berlin. All the or last three Germany to United Kingdom's capital to be Berlin. Okay, I'll just do it by iloc. Yeah, we know we want from Germany to United Kingdom. We want their capital to be, so we have to give the capital to be Berlin. Okay, I guess this should work. So already Germany's capital is Berlin, so the other capital should also change. Okay, I'll just print it and show you. Sorry. Yeah, all the values are changed to Berlin. So this is one way of accessing it. So next is one important thing. We want to select a particular part of data which obeys a particular condition. Like SQL, we use query side. So we query all the country. We want to find all the countries who has area more than 100. So this kind of query will give a Boolean output where it gives true to all the records which are all the rows which are accept that condition and false to other rows. I can use this value to actually select the particular rows in the entire data frame. So only the rows which written true over here are printed over here. So I can do like this. I'm trying to create a new column over here which is density. So I'm getting the population, multiplying it by 1000 since it's in millions, and then dividing it by array, the area. So that gives the density. Density is population divided by area. We get this value. So this question is Select the capital and the population column of those countries where the density is larger than 300. So first we have to check the condition whether it's greater than 300. After that we have to choose the capital and the population. Okay. So we put the condition, then we use the iLog to choose these two values alone. So this condition would return a true or false value. Based on that, we choose that these two columns alone. I hope it's clear. So let's put in another example, like we'll do our own thing. So we want to select the, if we want to select the population and area for country which has a density less than 200, less than above 200. Okay, that's our criteria. So using above 200, we want population and area. So what we do is use countries, use location. First we get the values which obeys our condition, which is greater than 200. So let's put, we want population to be more than, let's have 50. Okay. Don't want to keep the same condition. I want my population to be greater than 50 million. Okay. So this is the condition I'm setting. After that, what I'm doing is I'm selecting the area and capital of that particular country. So it's just like SQL querying. We put the condition and do necessary changes. So this should return a area and capital of countries which has greater than 50 million population. So which is France, Germany and United Kingdom. France, Germany and United Kingdom. We get the value. Okay, I hope this is clear. Similarly, we can also get the we can create a new column called as density ratio using mean. So we have seen these kind of functions in NumPy. We can similarly do it in Pandas also for a particular column. So this we create a new column. This is our current data frame. I can change the value by accessing the location alone. So I want to change the capital of United Kingdom. So I access like this. I can also do this using iLook. So from United Kingdom, we'll change back it to London. Okay. So how we will do it is, so we'll just first run it. So we have changed from United Kingdom to Cambridge. So I again trying to change. So we'll use iLook over here. So first we need to give the row index. So the row index is -1. We know it. And then is the column. Our column is 0, 1 and 2. So this is the index that we want to use. So we'll just put it as London. Okay, just let's print it again. From Cambridge it has again turned to London. So I hope iLook and loc is very clear to you. So we can also add multiple conditions by using a parenthesis between both of the conditions and using AND to have both the conditions in place. Okay, we get both the conditions like this. Less than 100, more than 100, less than 300. So we can also use these are some isIn functions which is used especially in strings. So we can generally use get a particular row alone like this. So h dot isIn what it does is we are just getting the dot string. So isIn checks the whether the value is present in the particular column. Okay. So we are what we are doing is instead of using some greater than less than condition, I'm checking whether the capital is Berlin or London. If it is true, we get those we get true or false as the output, which can be used over a data frame to print that particular values alone. So this part is actually a condition checking part, like where in the query SQL query we have where condition, right? So this is like that. This is the actual table that we are going to use. Okay. So we are getting the output Only Berlin and London is coming. Similarly, you can have other is in condition. So you can set is in on the area range. If it's a numeric value, will be having greater than, less than, or equal to, like those kind of condition. If it is a string kind of value, we can use is in or starts with, and these kind of other operations to check the condition. So Berlin, this is a simple condition which works on string. So we check whether Berlin starts with, okay, B. So it can be applied on only strings. So what we do is we get the capital, we change it to string and check whether they start with particular B. So the only capitals will start with B are Berlin and Brussels. So we should be getting Belgium and Germany as column row alone. Let's see what we are getting. So we are getting true for Belgium and Germany alone. So what I can do is I can put it inside a data frame so that those two rows alone would be printed. It's as simple as that. Similarly, I can also give conditions like length greater than. So I can use all these string functions to apply it to each and every object kind of data column. So similarly, if we can also check contains. Okay, so that brings us to the last part. So in the last part, what we are trying to do is I am trying to change the capital of Belgium to the another value. So let me change. So Belgium is changed to this value. So we have a condition like, let's change some other value. We set Paris to some random value like Venice. Okay. Yeah. So we are giving the condition. It should be Paris. So what I'm doing is I looking that giving a particular condition. And so I'll be getting this value alone. Okay. So in that I looking, I'm just going to change it. So what I want to change is from the capital should be changed as, let's see how it works. So yeah, Paris has changed to Venice. So the iLoc and loc is the preferred way to go when you're doing things like this. This is not the way to do it. So it's kind of in some versions it doesn't work properly. So prefer loc and iLoc. Okay. So yeah, that's it about indexing and slicing. I hope it's quite clear to you. So use when things are a few things to remember. I'll just have a recap. iLoc is used for integer-based mapping. Loc is used for label-based mapping. Okay, and those are the important things that I wanted to share regarding indexing and selecting. I hope it's clear. See you in the next video.